most thought-provoking hour of the day, dropping jewels and nuggets for the next 60 minutes. For us, by us. You're listening to the Hold Your Point podcast.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. This is the Hold Your Point podcast. We are the Hold Your Point podcast crew, where we talk about Black culture, Black excellence, all things above, from a Christian lens of perspective. For another tantalizing Tuesday, I know I missed a little bit of that. What's going on, fellas? How's the week?
What's going on, man? What's going on?
What's up?
Here, brother.
Good to clock in. What's up, boys, man?
Let's go around real quick. We got DTH in the house, man. DTH, what's going on, bro? How's the week been?
DTH, what's going on, everybody? So far, so good. I must give God thanks. You know, last week I was talking about it being up and down, but you know, right now it's doing much better. Things are smoothing out at work, getting things done with school.
Felt like just yesterday.
Yeah, I know, man.
Quick, man.
Yeah. So, but everything's good, man. I'm on the land of the living, right? So, can't complain.
Always good to be on the surface. I hear that, bro. Mike Brown, what's going on, man?
What's going on, man? What's going on, everybody? Everything copacetic, man. And we live, man. We live and present. That's all that matters, you know what I'm saying? So, thank God for that.
Yes, sir. Amen, amen. DJ, what's going on? Talk to me.
And hey, week's been good so far. You know, nothing crazy is happening. You know, we heard about our childhood teacher. You know, she went to go visit the Maker, man. But you know, I guess that's a part of life. But you know, forever, you know, her name, we call her Sister Charlton. You know, but you know, she'll forever be in our hearts, and you know, we'll always remember her. You know what I'm saying?
True. I hear that. And we have Mr. Leviathan in the house, favorite son of Jacob. What's going on?
What's going on, y'all? It's your favorite son of Jacob here. Y'all already know. I mean, you know, week started off real good, man. Y'all already know week started off real good. You know, it was birthday weekend, so I definitely
21.
Sure, yeah.
I wish we could show everybody, but I seen you in the red suit with the gold bow tie, and you had the gold flames on the shoes. Like,
oh man,
yeah, flame shoes.
I mean, you know,
it looked like some Versace, some Versace loafers. I don't know.
I mean, you know what I'm saying.
Y'all didn't see the ice though.
Exactly.
That man was freezing. That man was freezing on his birthday.
The man, Saturday night with the ice on his ring, on his neck, on his wrist, all over the place, man.
I mean, just a little birthday celebration. Had to look good. You know what I'm saying? If y'all want to go check out the red suit, the Leviathan 50 at Instagram, you know what I'm saying? So, you know what I'm saying? Just but
get a
anyway,
birthday recap.
I enjoy myself.
Hey, that's
but real quick,
man.
DJ, Mr. Charlton, the one is it the one in West Palm? Is that who you're talking about? Oh my gosh, man! Oh my lord!
Oh yeah,
you
know her.
To me. Yeah, man, that's news to me, man, bro. Oh my gosh, this is live reaction y'all getting right here, man.
Hey, but I mean, you know, she had a good run.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely,
90-something years old. So
yeah.
But yeah, I mean, other than that, man, like the week, you know, last week was pretty okay, you know, just as expected, man. Just, you know, kind of take the work, man. It's like every day is something different that you got to knock out and new projects and updates. But man, like I'm just thankful, like, you know what I'm saying, just like protection on that road. Boy, Saturday we was headed up to you know, to the church because we had a little Black History program. And, you know, we getting there, trying to get there early and stuff. And right when we were getting ready to pull on, you know, the main artery going towards where the church is, like it was a little 15-year-old girl crossing the crosswalk. It wasn't time for her to cross because the cars that was like coming around to make that turn was, you know, like one of them had to stop like sharp and was beeping at her, but she looked young, so she just kept on going, I guess, assuming that everybody was gonna stop for her. And one guy didn't see her and hit her. Like he was in a crossover SUV.
Wow.
And yeah, like I got the kids in the car and stuff, and so I'm like right behind them, so I just jumped out, and like it was a couple other guys that came over and stuff, and it's like the only thing I could think of was like to pray for her, but like everybody was just trying to keep it still and stuff till the ambulance got there. Luckily, she was responsive, but it's like it's crazy, man.
Wow.
You saying like. No, I ain't know her. I mean, I was, it's just like we stayed until the police came. I'm like, oh, the police is here. Let me get up out of here. But once the police and stuff came, like there was some other people there, and I had just kind of continued on. But from what it seemed like I said, she was responsive. I don't know. She seemed like she would be okay, but it just was like a bad situation all around. Even the old man who hit him, he was just sitting on the sidewalk looking like he lost everything. Like, it's just like, but yeah, so
yeah, man,
gotta be careful, man, especially when you got little ones.
Way around.
Yeah, and now when we got kids, like my daughter about to be 11, so I mean, not that she's gonna be running to the store or nothing on her own, but as they get a little older, like you just gotta reiterate, like you gotta be careful, man, because somebody sent their kid to the store that day, and gotta get a call from the hospital that their baby and is there and whatever, so. But it's crazy, man. It'd be like that. Thank God, it wasn't otherwise. But other than that, man, like it's just been motion, man. Like I'm on a mission. We're on a mission, man.
Yeah, man.
All right, but we're not gonna hold it. We got a very, very good topic that we wanted to get right into, and it's centered around the love of music. As music is such a fabric. I would speak personally of my life. Like I can't say for anybody else. And it's like,
it's a precious gem, man. Precious gem.
It's like, but then there's so many different facets to it, right? Because as we, kind of think about it from a Christian perspective, it's like, there's so many different levels to this music as to like what you can consume, what should you consume, like how should you consume it, if it's okay to consume it. And like if music really has an impact on your life, like I did music for a long time. So like for a long time, like, if anything was happening good in my life, I wanted it to be centered around music. Like I didn't care about nothing else. And so, like, we'll get into it, man. Like I know it's a lot. I ain't finna pull out right now. Music is special to me, but like I want to get y'all perspective on it, man. Like how do y'all think like music is like influences us today? Like or does it? Like how influential do we think music is?
Certainly, man. Certainly. Now I'm no musician, but music I like to feel has a big part of my life as well, man. I mean, my father and my older siblings primarily, got me into certain genres of music, and that's kind of what I still listen to today for the most part. And so,
hey, what that 60 soul?
Hey, man, 60s, 70s, 50s.
That Marvin Gaye,
Al Green, Temptations, the Drifters, the Platters. I could go on and on, man. But
hey, I always wanted to know, Lord,
how old are you? No, I was just kidding.
Where did you come from?
Hey, who's your top like artist though that you like listening to back then?
Man, Marvin Gaye's up there.
Yeah.
He's a genius.
Soulful, man. Soulful brother.
A whole lot of soul. He really means it when he sings. You know what I'm saying? You can hear it in his voice. Oh man, who else? Well, it is a little more later, but I'll put obviously Michael Jackson up there, man. Can't forget this man. He's the greatest entertainer who ever lived.
I mean, we it's so easy to fall into this debate of the greatest, right? But I want the question to be answered like, is music influential? Like, you know what I'm saying? As a Christian man, like obviously David lit up talking about the 60s and 70s and what his parents put him on. Yeah. Like, so how influential do we really feel like music is in our lives? Like,
well, that's what I'm saying. So like, I was looking a little bit of stuff up, and it's like they're saying it really has a huge impact on your health, right? So it can boost your memory. It helps you get better with your tasks. It can lighten your mood. They say it reduces anxiety and depression, right? It can help stave off fatigue, and it says it improves your response to pain. So, like, if you think about getting injured or something like that, but you hear music, it really kind of lightens it for you. So, like, it has a huge impact for sure.
Hey,
Mike, what you came up on, Mike?
I mean, yeah, music is one of those things that it's just, I think, is one of God's gift, and that's what I personally say. Is how it's how it's used. You know what I'm saying? I mean, look, you asking a question that's so broad when it comes to like music, because look, music, all right, back in the days, that's how a lot of slavery would communicate with each other. It was through music.
Wade in the water.
Because the slave masters did not know and understand what they were saying.
Mike
so they would
taking it back one
communicate.
time.
You know what I'm saying? They would communicate, with each other through music. Even through the battle, like, you know what I'm saying? You have the drummer boy. You have that, it's like some type of motivation to go into the battle and stand there and get shot, whatever, killed at the front line.
Especially them bands from the South, boy. Woo!
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? It's just, music is one of those things that, and then just to take it back to what DTH said, man, it's like, I heard somewhere that said that, you have two parts of your brain, and you got the creative side and you got the intellectual side, or whatever, the smart side. So when you have music and you either compose it or you listen to something, it helps you to remember things. You know what I'm saying? That's the positive side about music. Yeah. Now, what's the negative? I'm gonna throw it back at y'all. But I mean, I can name a couple things that's negative about music. But you know what I'm saying? Music is needed in our lives. I think without music, we're pretty much, soulless or dead. You know what I'm saying?
True. Levi, Leo, you a little bit younger, Levi. What you came up on?
Yeah, no, for sure. Like, as probably the youngest one, it's definitely the youngest one is the group, I should say. I can't go back as far as David.
Not that young, Levi. Hold on.
I'm saying,
I mean, I'm still in my 20s. Still in my 20s. The last one. Let me stop. But I can't go as far back as David when it comes to the music, but I definitely enjoy music for sure. Like, I listen to music all the time, in my car. I'm doing work sometimes. I'm just even chilling.
What you came up on, Levi?
Hold on, man. Hey, can I talk about myself for a second? But all right, so yeah, but I'm just saying about how influential it is to me, and then just in general to the world, kind of, or in general to humans, I should say. Before, as we were kind of getting there, David alluded to a good point to the mood part. I know I know there's definitely studies of people who have listened to like rock music or really heavy music or really extreme music, and it makes them get more mad, or more, if they're already upset, they'll get even more upset, you know what I'm saying? Or if they're mellow, if you're chilled right now and then you listen to chill music, you get even more chilled, you know what I'm saying? It definitely is like an enhancement to you. And I think, even to get to like a spiritual aspect of it, I think that's part of the reason why, the devil has such a big hold on it, and we'll probably get there. But he is he was, I should say, the chief musician before he was cast down. So he definitely has a way and uses music for sure. In a way, not that say other people can't use it for good, but we'll probably get there. But it definitely has a stronghold and a huge influence on the world, just in general. Because
yeah, but like, all right, so peep this, right? Because I remember like the first album I ever tried to get, right, was this Snoop Dogg album. I think it was like I can't remember the album, but it was like the Dog House on the front cover.
Dog Pound.
Dog Pound, yeah. And I remember I was at I think it was Walmart, or whatever the music store was at the time with my mom, and I grabbed the CD and I was like, I want this one. And then there was a lady at the store saying like, "Oh, you shouldn't get this CD for your album, or that album for your son, And you know, my mom was like, "Oh yeah, I know he can't get it without me." And then she was like, "No. I mean that there's foul language on it." And she pointed out the parental advisory. And my mom was like, "Oh no." She made me put it back, and I had to get like this Christian rap album. And I can't remember what it was, but it had 2 black guys on it with purple bubble coats.
I think it was Jamaican too, right?
I listened to it too. I did listen. I bought it, so I listened to it, but I was mad. You know what I'm saying? Because that's not who I was, and it's like, is it possible? And it's even like as I've grown, like, you know, my taste now is contemporary trap music, amongst other genres. But it's like, is it possible to like listen to worldly music and, you know, really like be a Christian, or, you know what I'm saying, like, you know, go down that path? And like, what y'all think? What you think, Mike?
All right, correct me if I'm wrong. I feel like there's two.
You might want to try setting them up again.
There's two different types of.
Yo, who's that?
You, man. But nah, I think there's 2 different types of listeners.
It looks like Mercury VW 904 smart.
Yo, Mike, check your girl, bro.
Sorry.
Yo.
Like Mercury VW.
She don't know what she's saying, man.
Oh, that's not.
That was Nazi. Yeah.
Oh,
All right, well, man. But anyways, yeah, I feel like you know what I'm saying, you got 2 different types of listeners. You know, you got the ones that are taken by rhythm and beat. You know what I'm saying? And you like you ever hear a beat and be like, damn, boy, that'd be hard. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Of course.
Yeah. And then you hear the words, it's like, man, that just messed up the whole song. That song trash now because of the words. But then you have songs that are used to grab people with the words. That's, you know, essentially what a song is for. You know what I'm saying? So
Mike, what you listen to?
I listen to reggae. I ain't gonna lie, I listen to reggae. I've been
reggae
what? Nah, yeah. Huh?
No,
I can't do all that. You know what I'm saying? You know what? I got a variety of genres that I listen to. I'm not gonna just say one specific. You know what I mean? But you have your songs. You know what I'm saying? Everybody got their songs that they feel like that creates a mood. You can wake up one day and you feel like listening to this because that's the mood you're in. But I think the first thing is that it's how it's grabbing you. You know what I'm saying? How is it grabbing your attention? Are you putting too much into it to the point where now it's hypnotizing to you and now you're forgetting what's important in life? Because that's where the problem is. Because there's nothing like hearing that song for the first time and you put it on repeat and you'd be like, dang, you know what I'm saying? This is my new favorite song. And next thing you know, you losing focus and everything else. I'm just saying, some people like that.
I mean, that's that's a good point. I'm gonna play a little.
I mean, I'm just waiting for y'all to keep it 100, because y'all ain't keeping it a buck yet. So I'm gonna start naming some songs, and then we gonna get there.
We gonna get there. Mr. Leviathan, go ahead.
No, I was just saying, like, to play a little. Not even, I don't know, devil advocate or not, but I was just saying, like, there's definitely some worldly songs that, when I say worldly, if it doesn't, there's some songs that it doesn't necessarily glorify God, if you want to say. It doesn't, say honest, doesn't say his name and glorify him and giving him honor and glory. But does that make it wrong? I don't think so. In some situations, it depends on the song. You know what I'm saying? It depends on the situations for certain songs. I mean, if I'm singing a love song to my wife, my future wife one day, what's the harm in expressing my love to her through this song that somebody wrote that says a bunch of love poetry about, women and whatever, and it pertains to what she's about, and it suits her soul in a way. Go ahead. I think they
wait. No, wait, hold on. So wait, does it equate to the same way, like if you're in the gym and you want to play Knuck If You Buck because you want to get
hold on, man.
You know the words?
Hold on. Look, well, no.
Go ahead, David.
What Leviathan just said is spot on, right? What he just said is spot on, because that's the whole thing with like secular, right? A lot of times people reduce everything to a simple reduction of good and bad. Like, I'm gonna give y'all an example. how many times have you heard people call something average? And
Mm.
what is it? What do you think about when you hear the word average? Oh, that's an average person, or that's an average
It's in between.
an average amount of money to
Common.
make. Huh?
No,
Yeah,
it's
so
in
common.
Most
It's
people,
just common.
would
Like,
say,
Yeah,
I don't
yeah.
want to be
it's not
average.
as there's no
Right.
value in average.
Well, actually, but that's the thing, right? Average is a mathematical term. Average means in the middle. You take an average, right? You add up all the pieces and you divide by the number of pieces. It has nothing to do with goodness or badness, right? So I'm just saying that because a lot of times people like to put things into categories good and bad because I guess it's just simpler that way, right? But things have nuance. So when it comes to secular music, just because it's not like Leviathan said, secular, the definition of it has nothing to do with Jesus or glorifying God, right? But does basketball have anything to do with Jesus? Are we going to say basketball is evil or sports are evil, right? Like, no. So like there's certain secular music that is not evil, right? It's just is what it is. Like you said, a love song to your wife or whatever. Even
Even your
Solomon
girlfriend.
Solomon wrote a whole book about love songs to his woman,
Hey,
right?
look,
And he had a lot of women anyway, but he wrote a whole book on that. So certainly there are genres or certain songs out there, I think, that can be bad, and we can talk about that, but we can't just say if it's not a Christian song or if it's not a gospel song, it's bad. You know what I'm saying? Because there are people out there like that, and I don't think that's right.
DJ, I see you in deep thought, man. What's on your mind?
Yeah. Yeah, you trying to freeze me out. I'm like, pass me the ball. I'm open.
What you gonna do with it though?
Nah, but music, man. Honestly, music is all around, bro. Music is even with our heartbeat, man. It beats in a musical way. So you will know if you shouldn't be listening to something, man. You can feel it. You can feel it in your spirit. You can feel it in, you can feel it in your soul if there's something that's not right about the song. Even if it's like not cussing or something, man, you could just feel like, how does this music make me feel? Because like you can listen to hip hop and then you're going 60, now you're going 120 down to 95, man. So it just puts you in, like how Levi was saying, it just puts you in kind of an aggressive mood. And then
What song
you
is that?
combine, let's say you at the club or something, you combine the hip hop with some liquor. Then next thing you know, just like how y'all saying, "Nuck if you both," now you got some cats that's trying to fight, that's trying to shoot up the club. And honestly, I've heard of some DJs that stop playing certain songs at the club because of the way it will make people react to it. Because, like I said, it's a feeling. Music is a feeling that you feel in your soul,
I
in your
mean,
nervous system.
we're gonna differ tonight because I don't know if I'm fit. I don't know if I'm with her. Oh, we're gonna differ tonight. Mike said, what's the problem when you hit 120 on the highway and you playing some old reggae?
Nah, man. Hey, it's not. It's a feeling like DJ said. Because at the end of the day, I mean, I ain't gonna lie. I agree with him. Because look, didn't Bob Marley unite two politicians or something like through music? Correct me if I'm my history, I don't know, but like it
I
was
mean,
something like that. Like
Bob
he
did a
correct.
lot. I know he sang a
Yeah,
song about Zimbabwe. That's the name of the song. A great song. Because they were going through different struggles and whatever, and he's talking about like brotherhood and things like that. So yeah,
right.
but
So,
yeah,
but
go ahead.
yeah. No, but I'm just trying to say, like, all right. So none of that is. Yeah, you talk about Ja, right? Ja, but none of it is to the point where it's glorifying God, but it is something where it's uniting God's people.
Right.
So I understand. I ain't gonna play no Bob Marley on the highway, and I'm driving down, speeding 120, which I ain't never do. But I'm just saying. The point is, at the end of the day, there's a song for everything, and it's up to you to try to understand. Like, yo, what's up? Is it this time to be listening to this, or what? What is you understand what I'm saying?
So if if Rose dropped me a new album, shout out to Rose from 305 MIA, yo. If he dropped a new album, right, and I put it on in the car Sunday, and I'm sliding, like, is there a problem if I'm a believing man, a Christian man? I stand on what I believe in, the principles of the Bible. But Rose dropped this album, and I'm on front, and I'm sliding to the album.
Where does it take you when you listen to it? Where does your mind take you when you listen to it?
Good question.
It is a good question.
It doesn't. So yeah. So I mean, okay. So that's another point then. So are we suggesting that like music, like makes our
answer the question?
No, I mean, because
answer the question, man.
No, because I mean, like me, like as a man, it don't take me nowhere. Like I like the vibe to the music.
That's
you know
cat.
What I'm saying? Like I mean, it's probably cat for you. It's not cat for me.
I'm just
like,
saying. I'm just saying mentally. Well, hold on, where does it take you?
That's what I'm trying to explain to you. Like it takes me, like, it makes me like just want to vibe. Like I like the beat to the music and I like the cadence. And you know what I'm saying? And it's slightly aggressive, but it don't make me like want to go do no dumb stuff. Like I'm a grown man. Like I'm in control of my emotions and stuff.
I got a question. So
like to answer that though, like it doesn't take me to a negative space mentally. Like I can control who I am and listen to different types of music and still not be taken into it.
All right, hold up, real quick, DJ. I'm gonna ask this. Like, all right, I'm sorry for the lives that are lost at Travis Scott concert, right? I understand that you have two different words with Rose and Travis Scott. You know what I'm saying? Do you see what I'm saying? It's two different lyrics. But my question is, where is your mindset at that time when you're driving and listening to Rose? And it's like a rhetorical question. You feel me? It's not for you to answer. I'm just asking if you want to answer. But
hey, I know DJ. Go ahead, DJ. Before I jump back.
No, I was just gonna say, we'll bring it back to the church, right? So, music in the church is a form of worship. When you start doing praise and worship, you start having the music going. Shout out to David's older brother, Dangerous on the piano, Nathaniel. He has the ability, he has the gift to take you to the place of worship, with music. So if music in church can bring you to a place of worship, some people, they've gone to church and they get the blessing from the praise and worship, not even hearing the message. It's just essentially just the music. So sometimes, or not sometimes, but I'm just asking everyone, if you were to have music, perhaps that in a negative light, just like Mike say, where would then that music take you? If the praise and worship music take you to the place of worship where you got your hands lifted, you know what I'm saying?
That's a good point. I mean, but then it kind of comes down to like what you do after the music, because then like I was just about to ask Fortunato, like when you listen to the Rose album, like what does it make you do? You mentioned speeding. It's the only action you really mentioned. So it's like, I'm like, if you want to speed, go ahead and speed. You get caught.
I didn't say speeding, brother. I definitely didn't say speeding.
No,
I said it make you
whatever you want to do when you come out with the Rose album. I don't know what it make you do, but if it make you go on the road and speed.
I mean, y'all just sound hypocritical to me because like,
hold on.
I go ahead, DCH. I'm sorry.
No, because I was gonna say one good thing about music, when it hits, you feel no pain, right? Yeah. I know that's random, but I've been wanting to say that for a minute. So. All right, now let me go back to what I was gonna say. So no,
that's a Bob Marley reference. Just an FYI.
Yeah. Because Mike brought up. Yeah, thank you. Because Mike brought up Bob earlier, so that was in my head. But no, listen, I'm with Fortunato on this because I listen to music. Listen, I can't tell you how many times I listened to "Hit 'Em Up" by Tupac, and I have no intention of doing nothing like that to anybody. But here's the thing too, though. I think the question that Mike Brown raised, and DJ, you agree with him, which is like, where does it take you, right? Like I was looking stuff up, and it's like, there's like 4 different questions you should ask when you listen to the music, and that could actually apply to other activities you partake in as well. But it's like, 1, does it glorify God? 2, does it draw you closer to him? 3, how does it influence your attitude? And then 4, is there redemptive truth to it? So these are like 4 questions that I saw like you should kind of ask yourself before you partake in any activity, really, right? So I do agree that that's a question to ask. But again, back to what Fortunato was saying, there are people who will go play video games that are, first person shooter games, Halo, Battlefield, Call of Duty,
Call of
whatever.
Duty.
And then they'll get in their mind like, yo, this is a real thing I should go do. And it influences them. And then there's millions of people who play the same game and never come close to anything like that. And so similarly, like there's people who listen to the music and it does influence them to maybe carry out the things that the song is talking about. And there's other people who listen to it for entertainment value solely. And I think that's kind of where Fortunato's going. And I feel the same way because, like I said, I may not be listening to Rose, but I bum Knuck If You Buck. Like I said, hit him up, all kinds of stuff. Although I'm not a huge hip hop guy. I'm more old school hip hop, if anything. But it's certainly.
And I was keeping it light. I got Bobby Fishgale on my Spotify right now. Like I was keeping it breezy.
So you saying, David, is basically based on what you can handle?
More or less, honestly, because I think you have to know yourself. And if you see that you listening to this song or this type of music is affecting you in a negative way and it's causing you to have bad thoughts, and you know that saying, I don't know it exactly, but it's like, watch your thoughts for they become your actions and actions because they become your behavior or whatever and becomes your destiny, right? So that's certainly true. But you have to know yourself, right? And if it's causing you to err, then it's something you need to put away. But if you can, because again, everyone has their weak spots. Like some people can watch movies and whatever it's in there, it'll make them do something. But other people watch the same movie and then it doesn't do the same thing to them. Or food, like some people can say no to food and some people can't. Like you have to know what it is where your weak spots are. Like music for me is not a weak spot. I like certain types of music. Not all of it is gospel music. And I'll be honest, I've never been a big fan of Christian hip hop. I know like Lecrae and I know some of their names. There's nothing against them. It's just not for me. But I do like
to have the real thing.
I mean,
don't water it down, Mike.
It's just what I like. But that's like you said. I think you have to evaluate yourself and where you are in your relationship with God too. And if it's causing a problem, you have to take action. You shouldn't just scratch it off and be like, oh well, whatever.
And not for nothing too, like as you said, like some people, even with movies, they might not be able to handle. Hint. I remember this one time. I don't know if y'all remember some movie that had came out. We went to go see, and DJ couldn't stand the thing. He had to go see a whole different movie.
It was an Omen.
It was one of the scary joints. He was like, nah, bro.
I ain't alone. David went with me.
I probably did. I'm not gonna lie.
You know what? It's not just movies with me. I have to keep everything clean with me because like that's just the way I'm wired. I have to be clean. If I'm not clean, you're gonna see the dirt. You feel me? So unfortunately, I mean that's what food. That's the conversations, the thing I eat, movies, everything, bro. I have to be clean. Like today, I went vegan. Like I didn't eat no chicken, no eggs, nothing, because like I just had a headache for the past 2 days, man. And just like, all right, well, let me try to shake this. I guess it's something I ate. So, yeah, man.
Nah, that makes sense. Let me just hop in here real quick. I think Mike Brown was like one of the first things that he said, like anything, like music is a tool, and it's one of the notes I actually had when I was looking this up a little bit, that like pretty much you got to think of anything that on this earth that God has given us as a tool, like, and it kind of depends on how you want to use it. If you want to use it for good or if you want to use it for evil. I mean, DJ brought a good point. Like even food could be a tool. Like you could use food for good, You could use food for bad. Like, it's really anything on this earth. Water, like, you could drink too much water, you could drink too little water. It's all about balance. It's all about how you use things. And it's the same thing about music. Like, it's all about like how you use it. If you're going to use it to uplift people, if you're going to use it to make people feel good, or are you going to use it to make people do terrible things? And it also is also, like you said, like, you got to analyze yourself. Like, what does it make you do when you do these things? Like, when I listen to this, do I feel like doing bad things?
I got a question.
Good. Shoot.
I got a question too, so speed it up.
All right, listen. So hold on. So do you guys agree among us that we got two different types of listeners? You get, like, going back to what DJ says.
I think you got billions of type of listeners. Everybody's different.
No. Listen.
No.
You have the listeners that's listening to the words, lyrics, and allowing it to adapt to them and taking it wherever it's taking them. And you have the ones that's vibing to whatever rhythm or the beat. Is there two different types of listeners?
No,
it's almost,
I don't agree.
I don't know what you're saying there.
I don't agree.
I agree.
Right, what I'm trying to say,
definitely agree.
I agree too. I think that there's two different types of listeners. Is this going back to what Fortunato said? You can get in the car, you vibing, you know what I'm saying? But he's not allowing the lyrics to take him to a place where it's, making him do other things.
No.
Let me shoot back at you real quick with that. Hold on. Let me shoot back real quick with that. Are you saying, like, if you were like a listener that only listens to beat, you could just listen to any type of lyric you want and it don't matter? Man went, man.
No,
he ran.
I think
right. He ran.
I think it's I think it's more so because, like, for real, like, I don't know if y'all heard that song "Stand" by Eminem. Like, it's people who will, like, literally will take your lyrics and they're like, it's not even just music. Like, they'll be just like, they have such a habit, like an addictive personality. Like, you ever heard someone having like an addictive personality? Like I knew a few females who had addictive personalities, and like, it almost anything they had to be careful with. It's just because, like, whatever they like, were into just consume them. And so even going back to that song, like, it's about like someone who's just this ultra super fan who doesn't know how to control or separate reality from the music. Or even in the Kevin Hart joint that, I don't know if y'all seen it, where he was like doing it based on him being an actor, but then like he was also showing his real life and he supposedly killed somebody in a hotel. And he had I don't know if y'all seen that movie, but it was a super fan like in there, and was like literally like he would do anything for whoever Kevin Hart's character was, because it's like just some people who can't separate the reality from like what the music is. So I definitely think it's like two different types of listeners.
That's
and
not
that goes
really
with just any
question. I wish he was still here so he can clarify his question, but I don't think that was really it.
Well,
but I personally think with music, like, you can have something playing in the background, and you could just probably go on throughout your day, but then you'll suddenly start singing something, or like somebody could be humming a song, and then you ain't really paying attention to it, but it's dipping into your subconscious mind where the lyrics, because I kind of look at music sometimes like a mantra. Like, sometimes the lyric the chorus will continue to repeat, and then that's it's catchy. You put a beat with it, and then it just locks into your mindset. So even if you like he said, two different listeners, it's seeping in. It's seeping in. Whatever the music, whatever the lyrics is seeping in. And even if even if it's like a music like you can't even understand, like salsa or something, like, you still can kind of register with the music, kind of knowing what it's kind of like, just based on the frequency of the music, No,
I think it's all perspective though. Go ahead, DTH.
Well, I wouldn't say that there are two different types of the listeners, as his question was, but because I do think whatever you listen to is going to have an effect on you. Like I was saying, it talks about your mood, and working out, it can make you have less stress. Excuse me. So that stuff is real, but I think there's varying degrees to which you are impacted by the music. So that's why some people take it too extreme, and others can just listen on the surface level and enjoy it for what it is. but I wouldn't say necessarily there's two different types of listeners. You're going to be influenced by it, but to what degree, I think is the distinguishing factor. But I wanted to ask then now, so then with everything y'all we're saying, right? Do y'all believe that you should only listen to Christian music?
No.
I definitely don't agree because I don't, and I refuse.
I was gonna say no. I definitely have reasons. Like there's definitely like even some Christian songs that like if you listen to it carefully, it's not even all that correct, because like some of them will talk about even like if you listen to it carefully, glorifying yourself,
Absolutely.
glorifying like or stuff like, you know, Jesus was a man and stuff like that. It like not a son of God. He was a man with powers and stuff like if you listen to some of these songs, it's some of them will be like, whoa, like you know, I'm trying to call nobody out on the cast, you know, no groups, but there's definitely some groups out there, Christian groups. That's all I'm gonna say. That
but
have some questionable lyrics.
No, that's
sure.
So let me just say this real quick. No, 100%. That's 100% true. There's Christian, and I do that with the air quotes, songs that, like you said, they're not glorifying God, right? And so then now it becomes a question of, are people just questioning the style because they don't like the style of the music? Because if they really listening to the words, some of these contemporary Christian songs are not doing what, you know, people are expecting them to do.
So, like, all right. So I wanted to ask y'all too. Like, do you think like each genre of music has a culture? And then, if each genre of music has a culture, like, do you think that there's elements to being influenced by that genre's, you know, culture that we should be aware of or careful of?
You're asking, repeat that question again. Does each genre of music have
all right,
a culture?
So yeah, all right, yeah. So let's start there. Like, do y'all think like, because I mean, the point that I want to get to eventually is like there's a fixation on hip hop, right? But if we look at music altogether, like, are there other cultures within music, or is hip hop the only one that has a culture?
No, they most of them do, I think, because you got I don't even know what you would call it, but the Bollywood Indian music, like there's a whole culture behind it, and there's like bachata and flamenco and merengue, like these Hispanic cultures, you know, that it's tied to the music. So it's not just hip hop.
Even Oriental Asian sounds. It sounds if you listen to it, sounds different. I mean,
Yes. No, that's cool. Yeah, so it's not just hip hop, but yeah.
So if we listen to like a, you know, variety of music, how then do we, you know, be aware of the elements of those cultures that, you know, we should probably stay away from, or like just, you know, just be aware of altogether?
The ones that worship the devil.
I mean, I guess that's it. Just that's the rule of thumb. As long as they ain't talking about it.
Like I said, man, like you can feel the vibe when you put on a song, put on a track, man. You can kind of feel the vibe of a song, man. It's like I don't really know how else to explain it, man. You just feel like if this ain't really a song that you should really vibe with like that, man. I ain't gonna lie, there was some C Murder, or like, you know, some C Murder song. I'm just like, you know, that just got a different, just got a kind of different vibe to it when you put it on it. You know, just I'm not gonna sing it, but you know, just got a different vibe. But yeah.
But all right, because like, I mean, the reason why I'm asking, I'll cut to the chase, like, you know, for the sake of like time and stuff, is like, because even with like hip hop culture, right? I mean, it's a heavy influence in the church as we know it. It's been like that for some time, but it's like there's elements to hip hop culture. Like, as you look at me, like, you know, people will say like, oh, he listens to hip hop because I got a do-rag on, I got a black tee on, and I got a gold chain on, right? But without having a conversation with me, someone who is, you know, saved and sanctified, Holy Ghost filled, water baptized, probably wouldn't want to have sit down and engage me without hearing me speak first because of how I look. So is there elements to what do y'all think about that? Like with hip hop culture in the church and just how we adapted in fashion and stuff like that.
I mean, go ahead, DJ. Go ahead. No, I was gonna say, it kind of, we're touching kind of on what we just said. Like, depending on where you at, depending on what your nationality is, you're gonna have a specific culture. If you're gonna continue to have new people come into church, you're gonna have the culture that that they are accustomed to come into church. I mean, that's just kind of the way it is. Like, if you're someone that more so used to listen to country music, now your music in church is going to kind of have a country feel to it. And the same thing with rock and roll, then you kind of have that Christian vibe, Christian rock to it. So you like the style of music, but you're not really a fan of the message. So you're going to bring that style of music to the church, but just a better message. So
that's it. Yeah,
I like that perspective. DTH was good.
Nah, my thought kind of slipped my mind a little bit, but I think we talking about how the culture of it fits within the church, right?
Or because not really fitting in, because let some people tell it hip hop culture in church shouldn't be.
Oh,
and
okay, I got you now.
just kind of comparing it to how I present right now. Some folks out of church, if it's not on a Saturday, they'll pass me by they wouldn't recognize me. Or we ain't gonna talk about the Lord today because of what I got on. Talk to me on Sabbath when you got your tie on.
Well, I mean, a lot of it has to do with how the music and the culture has been portrayed, particularly in the States here, because that's the birthplace of hip hop, right? I mean, when it started early 70s, 80s, and then, it started with people talking about what's going on in their neighborhoods, right? With what's really going on with cops and poverty and all these kind of things. And a lot of them were pushing a positive message, but a lot of people didn't want to hear it. So they painted them in a certain light, like with NWA, they made these guys look like, thugs and gangsters. And I mean, yeah, they were, but a lot of it is, out of necessity, right? They've been put in these positions and they're just telling their stories. And, they talked about how other genres would tell their stories, and they're like, why can't we tell ours? Like, this is our experience. This is what's real to us. And that's all we're doing. We're not trying to tell anyone go out there and do something bad. But so I think it's the way, just this country has kind of painted the whole genre. And I think we could probably all agree that it's because primarily the proponents of it, or the people who kind of started it, were black. And we know the relationship that black people have had in this country with everyone else for a long period of time. So I think that's a big part of it. And then when it comes to the church, I think a lot of folks, especially, the older folks, have kind of adopted that viewpoint of hip hop. Like, oh yeah, hip hop is only about drugs, sex, and violence. And we got to stay clear from it, far away from it, without realizing that every genre has stuff that they talk about that's not necessarily super clean. Like country music, they talk about getting drunk and all these things, but no, how many black, especially Caribbean people, listen to country music? You know what I'm saying? So it's just a matter of, like the Gaithers. We all know about the Gaithers. So anyway, I think it's just the certain viewpoint that people have, or it's a certain lens people have painted over hip hop that causes them to think about it the way that they do.
Yeah, no.
So it's a stigma.
It's a stigma. Yeah.
Okay. Levi, go ahead, bro. I know I had cut you off a minute ago. I apologize, sir.
No. I'll keep it short. I don't got too much on this. I was just gonna add a little bit, pretty much as we were kind of saying before. It's just a tool, and just like everything else, music. I mean, hip hop as a genre of music is a tool. You can use it for good. You can use it for bad, and like people were saying, a lot of people have only painted hip hop in the bad light. They've only had hip hop in a negative light, and it's really because of, the originators of hip hop, as David elaborated on. So, I mean, that's really it. So, just people just need to see the good, the good and bad of everything, and not only see
So
the one side, like not the only good side of Christian music, and not the only bad side of hip hop music. Everything got good and bad.
So if I pull up to the light, right, jamming some music, I got back in the day I had 412s in one of them cars. I can't remember which one. Right, and if I come up whamming some music at the light, does that leave a poor impression on, like, let's say someone who was randomly next to me comes and gonna visit the church the next day, and I'm teaching or delivering the word. Like, do you think that is a bad impression? And then so why? Like, let's keep it a buck.
Probably is. I mean, if it's go ahead, Mike.
It's not what they're used to. You know what I'm saying? It's just as much as we may get turned off from. I'm just saying hypothetically. I remember you told me a story, Fortunato, back in the days when you went to this conference, right? You just walking around and you heard different, songs, like different concerts playing, and then you open this one door and it was nothing but rock. But it was Christian rock. I remember if you told me that story, it was just how you just walked into it randomly. My point is this: is you have all those people that is what they're used to. Somebody who lives out in Tennessee, they don't know nothing about no rap, so they're not going to be adapted to listening to rap. But you know what I'm saying? If someone's from New York, they're not going to listen they're not going to listen to country. You know what I'm saying? Because that's not what they're used to. It's what grabs them. Music is an emotion. So if that emotion pulls you, what comes behind it? What's the message behind that emotion? You know what I'm saying? So, yeah. At the end of the day, yeah, you're going to be looked at bad because they're not used to all that bass and them 412s and gorillas in the back beating like that. You know what I'm saying? They're used to probably something real soft and soulful where they can understand what's going on. You know what I mean? It is what it is. It's just with anything.
Yeah, but should it matter though? Like, if none of that ain't in the Bible, where it's gonna keep me from getting into stuff?
I don't think it matters. In my opinion, it don't matter because at the end of the day, it's all right. God accepts us all for who we are, right? And if we like one thing and you like another, it doesn't make us bad. Like what going back to what David said, like with the average, the whole synopsis or explanation. I like that. You know what I'm saying? There's no good, there's no bad. God loves us for who he is, and he accepts us for whatever we like or whatever come from.
True. All right. I mean, all right. I ain't gonna labor it. Like, I mean, the only other thing like I wanted to consider really quick was like, does the style of music that we now integrate into the church matter, right? Because like now, like a lot of the styles of music we play is reggae type style music that's not originated from like Christianity, so quote unquote. And we got a lot more R&B feel. We got it's just a lot more different like styles that has incorporated themselves into like church music. Does that matter at all, or should it matter?
I don't think it should at all. That's a good question, but I think when we talk about music and influence, it should be just about the lyrics. Because if you just play rock music with no words or hip hop with no words, all it is a compilation of keyboard strokes and drum hits and stuff. It's just music. It's just rhythm. That's all it is. So the style itself should not matter at all. But as far as bringing that into the church, I mean, obviously it has to be God focused, Jesus focused, and that's it. But the style, you should be able to do anything in church. But again, people have different preferences, so you just got to cater to that.
True.
I can't say man, better than that. That was good.
I got questions real quick. How much time we got? We got time?
We got a few minutes, man.
Real quick.
B-roll is rolling.
Listen. So what? Did R. Kelly saying gospel, right?
Yeah.
We gonna go to R. Kelly. We might have to stop the music.
It's a part two.
Nah,
There's a part two.
nah,
There's
yeah,
a part two.
This part
But-
two, bro. 'Cause
There's
I was
part
thinking
two.
Snoop Dogg and everything, but go ahead.
Nah, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, he's saying gospel. What if certain songs that he sung, is it wrong to listen to him just because he...
I'm gonna always
Hey,
step
what
in the
they-
name of
what-
love, man. Always.
What they said, Robert did it. It wasn't R. Kelly. R. Kelly still invited to the barbecue.
Yeah.
But no, man, let's go ahead and wrap it up, man. Like, what's our consensus gonna be like, man? There's so many points on music, and I feel like we might truly have to come back and do a take two, man. But you know what I'm saying? Like, what levels of music are y'all digesting, man, and what's y'all taking and you know, suggestion going forward?
Hey, so
Mr. Leviathan, take us out.
Yeah.
Or DJ outside, whoever.
Go ahead, man.
No, I was gonna say, you know, please don't kill my vibe. I won't kill your vibe. Whatever you feel like you can listen to and you can handle, you know, do it, man. But just make sure that it fits your spirit, it fits your soul, man. Just be mindful of that.
To jump in that water, gentlemen. I mean, I think like the take for me is like, you know, like I'm always resonate with hip hop. Like I heard Charlamagne say that one time he listens to contemporary hip hop, you know, Jay-Z and the likes, who talk about finance and art and family and other levels of mature levels of hip hop. So you know what I'm saying? That's where I live at, man. But I mix it up to a Christian and R&B and everything else. So it's all in moderation. How much you're gonna take, man? How much and you know you can swallow going forward. These heads, what you think?
Hey, look, 1 Samuel 16:23, right? Samuel had an evil spirit on him, and that's when he called David to come play the harp for him, to soothe him. So it had nothing to do, that particular instance, with glorifying God. He had an issue that he needed solved, and music was soothing to him. So, you know, music has different applications. Certainly it's a great way to glorify God, singing and praising to him, but you can use it for other things too. But it's just a matter of keeping things in perspective and knowing when and where, time and place. So
Yeah, no.
Man, I agree. Go ahead, Mr. Leviathan.
All right, no, I'll take it. So, I was gonna say that, you know, the Israelites definitely back in the day, they use instruments, you know, to warn their enemies. They use instruments to surprise their enemies. They use instruments to warn of danger. You know, music has so many different applications, so many things that, you know, we could use it for, and also, you know, so many things that terribly it could be used for. You know, it talks about, you know, the daughter of Herod of Herodias, his wife, you know, she danced to music and I got John the Baptist killed. You know what I'm saying? There's a whole bunch of different ways you can look at it, and it's definitely coming on part two.
Yes, sir. Mike Brown, take us out.
Yeah, man, music is medicine. So I mean, just to echo everybody, man, it's where it takes you. So where you find yourself at a place where you ain't supposed to be, then there it is. You know what I mean? But yeah, we need music. So continue jamming, and till next time, bro.
Yeah, that's it, man. There you have it. This has been the Hold Your Point podcast crew. Please don't stop to the music, and until next time, man, keep on rocking.